Antarctica is the land of mysteries that just keeps on giving. In this video, we bring you 15 of the most mysterious discoveries ever made in the frigid landscape of Antarctica. Number 1. Unknown civilization discovered in long-lost photos. In the frostbitten expanse of Antarctica, where ice and snow stretch as far as the eye can see, a remarkable discovery has been made. The remnants of a lost civilization, long forgotten by time, have emerged from the icy depths. The astonishing find was not in the form of ancient ruins or artifacts, but in the unassuming discovery of an old camera buried beneath layers of ice and snow. Recently, an intrepid explorer embarked on an expedition to the icy wilderness of Antarctica with a team of dedicated assistants and adventurers. He set out to unravel the mysteries that lay hidden beneath the frozen landscape. Needless to say, they braved treacherous conditions, harsh blizzards, and bone-chilling temperatures. Once there, they stumbled upon an area where the ice seemed strangely distorted, as if hiding something remarkable beneath its frozen embrace. And as they began to dig, their efforts were rewarded with the unearthing of an ancient wooden crate. Within it lay an astonishing relic, a camera preserved in near pristine condition despite its age. The team carefully examined the camera, hoping to glean clues about its origins and the stories it might hold. And to their amazement, upon opening the camera, they discovered a set of fragile glass plates, each one meticulously engraved with images. It was clear that these photographs were captured by the intrepid explorers of an unknown civilization. As the images were delicately removed from the camera, the remarkable story of the lost civilization began to unfold. The photographs revealed a thriving society, an ancient city with towering structures with rounded tops against the white background of snow, and intricate architecture, a testament to the ingenuity and resourcefulness of these forgotten people. Some of the structures were lined up in a perfect line, showing evidence that they were meticulously positioned. How they managed to balance the heavy tops of the conical structures without the help of modern construction techniques and equipment is a mystery. The city, nestled in the heart of Antarctica, was apparently a vibrant hub of activity, hinting at a civilization far more advanced than previously imagined. The pictures depicted scenes of daily life, capturing moments of joy, struggle, and celebration. Families gathered, children played, and artisans honed their crafts. There are men with large beards wearing a ferocious look and thick garments that help them cope with the biting cold. And the photos also show the members of the tribe gathered at a spot holding tall walking sticks, apparently aware they were being photographed. Another one shows them tramping about the snow, apparently showing the explorers around the frigid area. The images have been meticulously studied, piecing together the puzzle of the lost civilization. The inhabitants were skilled astronomers, artists, and craftsmen, and their culture was steeped in wisdom and knowledge. However, as researchers pored over the photographs, one question lingered: what happened to this remarkable civilization? The images revealed no signs of conflict, disaster, or abandonment. It seemed as though they had simply vanished. As the world marveled at the photographs and the secrets they held, the legacy of the lost civilization began to find its place in the annals of human history. The camera, a silent witness to a bygone era, stood as a testament to the indomitable spirit of exploration and the eternal quest for knowledge that lies within the human heart. Number 2. Ancient ruins found in Antarctica. It appears humans have inhabited Antarctica for far longer than we imagine, as scientists have uncovered the remains of a massive stone structure and other artifacts, estimated to be at least 1,000 years old, in a remote corner of Antarctica. The discovery has been hailed as one of the most significant archaeological digs of the century. Working in diminishing light just before Antarctica's first sunset of the year, a team discovered the ruins of a stone construction roughly the size of Rome's ancient amphitheater. One of the students tripped over a squat pentagonal block while the group was hiking up a snow-covered incline, leading to the accidental discovery. Previous researchers could have easily missed it. So far, the researchers have uncovered the foundations of a big column structure that may have stood as high as 5 meters. And the bone-dry environment of Antarctica also preserved several artifacts such as coins, shells whose origin can't be traced, and sticks resembling rudimentary catapults. The find has stumped scientists who previously offered later estimates of the human occupation of Antarctica. And while further studies of the site continue, we await more clarification on the way of life of these former inhabitants of the icy continent. Number 3. The Atlantis of Antarctica. The famed lost city of Atlantis is popular, especially with loot hunters that hope to stumble upon the lost riches of the sunken ancient town. However, scientists have reported the discovery of the Atlantis of Antarctica, and it holds all the mysteries of the original Atlantis. The finding supports the theory that once upon a time, Antarctica was ice-free. The crustal displacement theory contends that shifts in the Earth's crust caused huge portions of Antarctica to be ice-free 12,000 years ago, allowing people to live there. The secret metropolis of Antarctica was confirmed by an old map which was constructed from military information. It represents the Antarctic coast hundreds of years before it was found, but many scholars at the time dismissed it. However, earlier NASA pictures appeared to show evidence of a human settlement beneath the ice. The images, which were captured using remote sensing photography for NASA's Operation Icebridge mission to Antarctica, appear to depict what is believed to be a metropolis. And if that is not impressive enough, Google Earth photographs also showed a pyramid jutting out of the tundra, with online netizens believing it is proof that humans once lived in the area and created a man-made building. However, according to archaeologist Jonathan Gray, the US government is attempting to prevent the film from being viewed because it depicts a massive archaeological dig underway 2 miles beneath the ice. Number 4. The mysterious, centuries-old Piri Reis map of ancient Antarctica. The Piri Reis map is a global map created by the Ottoman admiral and geographer Piri Reis in 1513. It is one of the earliest surviving maps of the Americas and a magnificent example of early cartography. A German theologian named Paul Kahler discovered the map in the Topkapi Palace Library in Istanbul, Turkey in 1929. He was seeking information for a colleague who was working on a book about the history of geography. The discovery of the Piri Reis map created a stir among academics and the general public. It was regarded as a remarkable historical document that revealed new information regarding the early 16th century exploration and knowledge of the New World. And it has sparked some debate and issues because it doesn't align with some of the facts scientists have been made to believe. The Piri Reis map is today kept in the Topkapi Palace Library in Istanbul. However, it is rarely seen by the public. Many scholars and enthusiasts have researched and replicated it in an attempt to uncover its secrets and mysteries. The map is still a fascinating and perplexing artifact that represents the talent and vision of its maker, as well as the age in which it was created. Number 5. Million-year-old DNA discovered in Antarctica. DNA from ancient organisms, some dating back 1 million years, has been uncovered beneath the Antarctic bottom. According to a new study, the DNA is the oldest ever recovered from bottom sediments. The rare genetic samples known as sedimentary ancient DNA or SEDA DNA were accidentally collected up to 584 feet, 178 meters beneath the sea floor as part of a survey led by the International Ocean Discovery Program in the Scotia Sea north of mainland Antarctica. Researchers analyzed these SEDA DNA samples for the first time in the latest study, which has been published online. The researchers examined the damage patterns inside the retrieved DNA pieces to determine their age. The oldest fragments date back roughly 1 million years. Until now, the oldest SEDA DNA found locked beneath Arctic permafrost dated to roughly 650,000 years ago. Now, scientists aren't sure whose species the oldest SEDA DNA belongs to, but it's clearly from a eukaryote, which means it's from an animal, plant, or fungi rather than a bacteria or virus. The majority of the DNA samples, however, are from diatoms, a type of phytoplankton that still exists in the world's oceans and serves as the foundation of most marine food webs. The SEDA DNA record from the Scotia Sea indicates that there was most likely a spike in diatom abundance around 540,000 years ago, just around the time the Earth was going through a natural warming period. Number 6. Enormous river longer than England's River Thames found beneath the Antarctic ice sheet. Rivers are popular and important, with some of them attaining worldwide acclaim because of their unique features. However, a recently discovered river in Antarctica is shocking scientists not only because of its science, but because it is completely buried under the ice. This under-ice river was discovered using aircraft-mounted ice-penetrating radar. Researchers identified a river system meandering at 285 miles or 460 kilometers and draining into the Weddell Sea through a series of airborne studies. This flow network indicates the ice sheet's bottom is slippery. If the entire region drained by the system melted, global sea levels would rise by 14.1 feet or 4.3 meters. This melt would not happen all at once, but there is a lot of uncertainty about how the ice will react as the world warms. The recently discovered river system could have a significant impact on this process. The river system is protected by 4 slow-moving ice masses: the Institute Ice Stream, the Miller Ice Stream, the Support Force Glacier, and the Foundation Ice Stream Academy Glacier, all of which are subject to instability if their borders move inland. The river flows into the Weddell Sea beneath a floating ice shelf where meltwater has the ability to erode away at the ice shelf from below. Number 7. Pyramids found in Antarctica. Egypt is famous for its pyramids. However, you can also catch a majestic glimpse of the massive structures in Antarctica too. Online sleuths have posted images of pyramids in the icy landscape of Antarctica, and it has everybody wondering who could have built them. The images show the sides of a pyramid reminiscent of the Giza pyramids. The best part is that the images are available to anyone that can use Google Maps to see. There are several hypotheses as to how these pyramids came to be. Some of the most contentious theories are that the pyramids were built by native invaders or that they were the ruins of a previous civilization in Antarctica. Other experts, however, have proposed a natural geological explanation for the pyramids in Antarctica. These researchers believe that the pyramids are actually nunataks. Nunataks are mountain peaks that protrude through the ice and are higher in elevation than the surrounding area. However, whatever the origins of these snow pyramids may be, the discovery of these intriguing features will fuel the debate about the recent human occupation of Antarctica. Number 8. Never seen before 3,000 meters tall mountains hidden underneath the ice of Antarctica. Antarctica holds many secrets beneath its vast ice sheets, even a massive mountain range. The Gamburtsev Mountains are hidden beneath a 2 to 4 kilometers thick layer of ice. They stretch for 1,200 miles and reach 3,000 meters in elevation, which is 1/3 the height of Mount Everest. The mountains were named after Soviet geophysicist Grigory A. Gamburtsev after Russian scientists discovered them in 1958. The scientists were traveling through Antarctica when they came upon a thin patch of ice and recorded strange gravity variations, revealing the magnificent sight below. Scientists utilize radars to see the physical properties of the mountains, while gravitational and magnetic measurements allow them to study the mountains all the way to their base, despite the fact that we've never seen them. Scientists have long been perplexed as to how the Gamburtsevs evolved and why they still exist. Because the mountains are billions of years old, they should have faded away with the passage of geological time. There are numerous hypotheses as to why they are still standing, the most popular of which is that the mountains are protected from erosion by a frozen mantle. Number 9. Deepest point named Factorian Deep discovered in Antarctica. What is the deepest hole you imagine could be dug? The latest discovery will blow your mind. The most precise map of Antarctica's freezing Southern Ocean to date has been produced, including the ocean's new deepest point, the Factorian Deep, which rests about 24,400 feet or 7,437 meters below the sea surface. The Factorian Deep was discovered by the American explorer and entrepreneur Victor Vescovo as part of his 5 Deeps expedition to map the deepest parts of the world's 5 oceans. It is located at a depth comparable to around 17 Empire State Buildings stacked top to bottom. Vescovo personally drove a submersible called Limiting Factor, after which the Factorian Deep was named, to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean's South Sandwich Trench, an undersea canyon that stretches 600 miles or 965 kilometers between South America and Antarctica. The trench cuts through the 60th parallel south, an invisible latitude circle 60 degrees south of the equator that separates the Atlantic and Southern Oceans. For the first time, Vescovo's voyage charted the entire length of the South Sandwich Trench, revealing the Southern Ocean's new deepest point just south of the 60th parallel. The new map is based on more than 1,200 sonar datasets acquired largely by science vessels from around the world, and the robust ice-breaking ships that cut a route for them. The sea bottom chart includes more than 18.5 million square miles, or 48 million square kilometers of the sea floor, more than tripling the coverage of the region's first map. Number 10. Antarctica was once a lush rainforest. Antarctica is the coldest and driest continent on Earth today, but it was a vastly different place millions of years ago. Antarctica was once part of Gondwana, a supercontinent that includes South America, Africa, India, Australia, and New Zealand around 100 million years ago. And Antarctica was covered with lush rainforests, and the climate was much warmer than it is today. A wide range of plants and creatures, including dinosaurs, mammals, reptiles, and insects, lived in these jungles. There were ferns, conifers, cycads, and even blooming plants thriving in Antarctica according to the fossil evidence. And some of these plants adapted to the lengthy periods of darkness that occur during the Arctic winter by losing their leaves or storing energy in their roots. Antarctica's warm and rainy climate was mostly caused by high amounts of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, which generated a greenhouse effect that trapped heat and hindered ice formation. And ocean currents also helped to distribute heat over the world and maintain Antarctica relatively ice-free. However, some 34 million years ago, Antarctica began to drift away from the other continent and became isolated near the South Pole, causing a significant change in the environment. The ocean currents shifted and got colder, while carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere decreased. This precipitated global cooling, resulting in the construction of the Antarctic ice sheet and the transformation of Antarctica into a frozen desert. Number 11. A large city-sized lake found underneath Antarctica's ice holding more than 34 million years of history. Scientists have discovered a city-sized lake hidden deep beneath the world's largest ice sheet, which may hold the key to unlocking the sheet's 34 million year history. They discovered the lake's existence after noticing a smooth indentation in satellite photos of the ice sheet. Suspecting that something was beneath the sheet, the researchers equipped planes with ice-penetrating radar and flew them over it, scanning as they went. The radar signal bounced back because water, unlike ice, reflects radio waves like a mirror, proving the lake's existence. The hidden lake, called Lake Snow Eagle after one of the Chinese aircraft that discovered it, is located in a mile-deep canyon beneath 2 miles or 3.2 kilometers of ice in the Princess Elizabeth Land Highlands in the East Antarctic ice sheet. With a surface area of 143 square miles or 370 square kilometers, the lake is one of the largest subglacial lakes beneath Antarctica's abundant ice. And because the sunken lake is within a few hundred miles from the ice sheet's border, scientists believe it may contain 34 million-year-old river sediments that predate the ice sheet itself. If the scientists are correct about the ancient sediments and are able to identify them, they could unearth a treasure trove of information on what Antarctica was like before it froze, how climate change has transformed it, and what an increasingly warming world implies for its future. Number 12. Blood falls in Antarctica. Seeing blood makes for gory sights sometimes, but how about seeing a fall of flowing blood? Blood falls are a stunning natural occurrence that happens near the end of Antarctica's Taylor Glacier. It is a vivid crimson waterfall that spills onto the surface of West Lake Bonny in the McMurdo Dry Valleys from a fissure in the ice. The watercolor is caused by the presence of iron oxide, which rusts when exposed to air. The water comes from a subglacial lake that's beneath 400 meters of ice. The lake is quite salty and abundant in iron and sulfate. It was created millions of years ago when an advancing glacier blocked a fjord and kept seawater inside. Because of the pressure and heat from the glacier above and the geothermal activity below, the water remained liquid. The water also has a distinct microbial ecosystem that has long lived in isolation. The microorganisms can metabolize sulfate and iron without the use of oxygen by utilizing chemical reactions that generate energy. They are extremophiles, or species that can survive in harsh settings. The Australian geologist Thomas Griffith Taylor discovered the blood falls in 1911, first believing they were caused by crimson algae. Using radar, chemical analysis, and DNA sequencing, later research established the exact origin and nature of the phenomenon. The blood falls are an unusual and fascinating example of how life can adapt and thrive in difficult environments. They also reveal information about Antarctica's history and geology, as well as the possibility of life on other planets with similar circumstances. Number 13. The Singing Ice of Antarctica. The next Grammy Award can go to the Ice of Antarctica. The frigid place has been belting out tunes in the lonely climes according to scientific discovery. The singing ice of Antarctica is a phenomenon that happens on the Ross Ice Shelf, Antarctica's largest ice shelf. It's a low-frequency hum caused by the wind blowing over the snow dunes on the ice's surface. A team of scientists installing seismic sensors on the ice shelf to analyze its behavior and stability discovered the hum by chance. The sensors observed almost steady vibrations ranging from 2 to 6 Hz, or cycles per second. The hum could not be heard by humans, but it could be recorded and sped up to sound like a song. The scientists discovered that the ice shelf's song fluctuated in response to environmental factors such as storms, melting, and temperature swings. The song also mirrored the ice shelf's physical characteristics such as thickness, flexibility, and density. The singing ice of Antarctica is not only a stunning natural phenomenon, but it's also a crucial instrument for real-time monitoring of the ice shelf. The song can disclose how the ice shelf reacts to climate change and to other factors that may affect its stability and collapse vulnerability. The ice shelf is critical for regulating global sea levels and ocean circulation, as well as providing a habitat for a variety of marine animals. Understanding its dynamics and health is therefore critical for protecting Antarctica and the globe. Antarctica's singing ice is just one of the many mysteries and wonders that this icy continent has to offer. It demonstrates how life and sound may develop from seemingly hostile environments and how nature can generate songs from wind and ice. Number 14. Giant volcanoes in Antarctica. Antarctica is not only the world's coldest and driest continent, but it's also the most volcanic. Antarctica has 138 volcanoes, the majority of which are in West Antarctica, one of the world's densest volcano zones. 2 of them, Mount Erebus and Deception Island, are currently active. Mount Erebus is Antarctica's highest active volcano and the planet's southernmost active volcano. It's on Ross Island, close to the US McMurdo Station and the New Zealand Scott Base. It has a 3,794-meter peak elevation and a permanent lava lake in its inner crater that's been there since at least the 1970s. It causes strombolian eruptions from the lava lake or from subsidiary vents on a regular basis. Deception Island is a ring-shaped island formed by an active undersea volcano's caldera. It is situated near the Antarctic Peninsula in the South Shetland Islands archipelago. It reaches a height of 602 meters and features a big flooded crater that serves as a natural harbor. It erupted multiple times in the 19th and 20th centuries, causing damage to the island's scientific and whaling outposts. The other volcanoes in Antarctica are either dormant or extinct, although their geological and ecological implications are still significant. Some of them are buried under massive ice sheets and can induce melting and ice instability. Some of them have carved out unusual features like ice caves, hot springs, and blood falls. And some of them have also had an impact on the biodiversity and evolution of Antarctic life forms such as microorganisms, plants, and animals. Volcanoes in Antarctica are remarkable natural wonders that illustrate the frozen continent's dramatic history and diversity. In this distant and hostile habitat, they also provide significant threats and obstacles to human exploration and research. Number 15. Meteor Magnet. Antarctica is one huge meteor magnet, making it a gold field for meteorites. Meteorites can fall anywhere on the planet, but they are easier to detect in Antarctica because the cold, dry conditions retain the stone shards. Dark meteorites are also easier to see on the ice's stark white surface, and they are virtually invariably extraterrestrial rocks, as few rocks grow naturally on Antarctica's ice sheets. The East Antarctic ice sheet has been stationary long enough for its top layers to be melted by sunlight and strong winds, making it an ideal location for meteorite discoveries. This displays older ice and massive meteorite concentrations. Since 1976, around 20,000 meteorite samples have been collected, and a team of Japanese and Belgian scientists made a spectacular find in Antarctica when they discovered one of the largest meteorites ever retrieved from the continent. The meteorite weighed 40 pounds or 18 kilograms. It was discovered at the Belgian Princess Elizabeth Antarctica Research Station after the researchers identified probable meteorite-rich areas using satellite data and machine learning. The meteorite was identified as a regular chondrite, the most common sort of meteorite. Ordinary chondrites are made up of microscopic spherical grains called chondrules, which formed around 4.6 billion years ago in the early solar system. They're thought to have come from the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, where they were shattered by collisions. The scientists intend to ship the meteorite to Japan for additional investigation, storing it in a cold box to minimize melting damage. They believe that by studying this rare and valuable space rock, they would be able to learn more about the early solar system and the